Welcome to the Big East Conference, one of the non-Power 5 conferences in the NCAA. Founded in 1979, it has arguably been the most successful conference in men's hoops since its inception. The major universities that have been a part of the conference are the Xavier Musketeers, Butler Bulldogs, Creighton Blue Jays, Villanova Wildcats, Seton Hall Pirates, Georgetown Hoyas, St. John's Red Storm, DePaul Blue Demons, Marquette Golden Eagles, and the Providence Friars. The conference included Syracuse University, Connecticut University, and Boston College until they moved to the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference. The Big East has been one of the most successful regular season conferences in history. They have posted a better combined record of 55% between the entire conference since 1979, something only the Big East and the Big 12 Conference have done. The Power 5 conferences, which are the Big 10, the Big 12, the SEC, the Pac-12, and the ACC, are considered the best conferences in the NCAA. The Big East's success has gone unnoticed and uncredited in the past 50 years, as they have not been considered a Power 5 conference in its history, even though they beat or match each Power 5 conference in wins, win percentage, and NCAA appearances in the tournament. Now, all of you have probably seen or at least heard of the upsets and madness this year on social media and have taken note of the history being made in the tournament. Well, a lot of that history has been made by the Big East with the third most bids and second most wins in the tournament's history since 1959. The current Big East basketball programs have enjoyed extraordinary success over the years in the postseason tournament. Georgetown, Marquette, and Villanova have won the national championship and have a combined 15 finals appearances and 4 titles. The success the Big East has had has been historic, as Villanova, UConn, and Georgetown have had the bulk of the success. The conference itself has the 5th most titles in NCAA history, ahead of the Big 12, with the Big East having 8 and the Big 12 only having 5. Other Big East schools have also made it to the Final Four, and DePaul, Providence, Butler, St. John's, and Seton Hall have all gotten there in the tournament. The Big East also placed 3 men's basketball teams in the Final Four in 1985, Georgetown, St. John's, and Villanova. This was the only time this has occurred in NCAA history. The teams this year even had 2 out of the 4 1 seeds, the highest seeds you can get, and the Big East also had the second most tournament bids this year, and they hold the record for most tournament bids in one season at 11 in 2010. The conference thrives in the postseason, and winning is no stranger to these smaller schools who match up and win easily against Power 5 conference teams every year. Finally, the players are what make it all happen for these teams. These are the people that get all these amazing statistics for these schools. Some of the biggest names in basketball have graduated from Big East schools, including Chris Mullin from St. John's, Ray Allen from UConn, Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, and Allen Iverson from Georgetown. Future Hall of Famers include Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler from Marquette, Gordon Hayward from Butler, Kyle Lowry from Villanova, and Kemba Walker from UConn. Though the Big East may not have many Hall of Famers compared to the other big top 5 conferences, they have produced some of the toughest and brightest young stars in the college and professional ranks. And Villanova looking for the conference's 6th title this year against Michigan. These players left a staple in college basketball and in the NBA in their careers on the way to the Hall of Fame. Mullin and Ewing have since returned to their respective alma maters and have coached there for multiple years since their respective inductions into the Hall of Fame. Only 8 coaches currently have that status, and few have ever been able to return to coach in any conference. The Big East's success has been discredited, and they have not been able to get into the Power 5 conferences over the Big 12. They have lost many votes to get in, but many suspect that because the Big East is all mainly made up of religious institutions, and their attendance being low means the NCAA won't make as much money in ticket sales if there are regional games and bigger games hosted at the schools. With the overwhelming amounts of success and eye-popping numbers, the Big East has had success for decades will continue, and those top-tier teams will have many more losses to the Big East. The NBA and the NCAA will continue to benefit from all the seasoned, experienced, and extremely talented players that continue to win and beat anyone in their way. One day the NCAA will benefit from the Big East being a Power 5 conference, but until then the Big East will stay in the shadows, being one of the best conferences in the D1 basketball program. Though the Big East may not have many Hall of Famers, they have produced some of the toughest and brightest young stars in the college and professional ranks. The Big East has proven for too many years that they are a top-tier conference and they deserve to be at the top along with the bigger-name schools. The success the conference has had and the credit they have gotten in return has been insufficient. The Big East continues to shape college basketball with tough play and win after win. The history the Big East has made in such a short amount of time compared to the other conferences just shows the talent level and quality of play the conference gives year after year, as again the Big East won another title with Villanova beating Michigan. Compared to all the other conferences, the Big East has them beat in some categories or another, and as the Big East is a top conference in college basketball, they will continue to be for years to come.